Today, I'm going to show you how to create a killer self-tape for your musical theater auditions that make you stand out from the crowd and that you also feel confident sending in for auditions. Hey, I'm Ashley. I've spent over 20 years in the musical theater industry as a performer and a coach. I was a professor for almost a decade. I have created more self-tapes than I can count. And I've also helped many other performers book through their self-tapes. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through practical steps to creating a professional musical theater audition self-tape. What's so amazing about filming our own auditions is that we are in control of many elements that we typically cannot control in the room. And that's all we're doing. We're just putting on tape what we would do in the room. But with that comes elements that we are often not taught. So the first thing I want to talk about is lighting and background. We're really looking for natural, bright, yet not too bright, so almost a soft, bright light in front of your face. If we can avoid shadows, that's always the best situation to have, but we have to only focus on what we can control. And this is something that I know that it's so extremely frustrating for many people. If you're filming at night, you might get a bit more shadow behind you. If you are filming in natural light, it's probably going to be a little bit easier, but maybe you don't have the right backdrop. So overall, I just want you to think about having light that is not too bright, but that we can see in front of you. There's no backlight unless you're doing some type of hair light behind you. We just want light coming towards your face so that we can see you. The next thing I want to remind you of is don't get carried away with all the equipment. Yes, any equipment that you had that is going to give you light in front of your face will be helpful. Right now, I am literally using a softbox light to my right at an angle. And then over here on my left at an angle, I have a window with lots of natural light. I'm filming this in the afternoon. And I have the shade that is down it's a roller shade that is pulled down. And I still have some natural light peeking through the bottom. Right now, when I set up to film this tape for you and this video, this is the best lighting that I can get in the moment. Now I do have a ring light in front of me. I do not have that ring light on. Our ring light's the best situation. It depends on your setup. If you are someone that you need something small and tight and compact, then try to set up your ring light not directly in front of you. Maybe make it to the side using it as your key light like I'm doing here. We want it a little bit high, kind of almost like the sun, and angled down at you, but not way above you because it might create a shadow. But we want to avoid as much as possible having the light directly in front of your face because it kind of feels unnatural. But sometimes you have to do what you have to do with the space you have and the time that you're filming. If you want to use your ring light to hold your phone like I'm doing right now, then you're just going to want to adjust it. But we don't want to oversaturate it. We just want light in front of you. When you're talking about a background, I know everybody gets caught up in like the perfect background. It just needs to be simple and not distracting. That's it. It can be a white wall. It can be photo paper, which is what I use for a lot of my tapes. It could be something where you take the photo paper and you just tape it on your wall. We want to avoid anything that's going to have wrinkles in it. So if it's something that's like a curtain or fabric, pull it very tight and then tape it to the wall or stretch it. We want to avoid any type of wrinkles. Photo paper is your best bet, or a wall. If you want to paint a wall in your house that looks nice behind you, then absolutely paint a wall. We just want something simple behind you that is not distracting. If you are going to stand in front of a wall, it's best to step about 3 feet or so away from it so you don't feel like you're right up on it, and it does create some distance between you and the wall, again, if that is possible. If you can, invest in something that's going to work for you that you can set up and break down quite easily so that every self-tape, you're not worried about setting up this 3-point lighting kit in your space. And then you don't do it, you feel overwhelmed. Something that is simple, again, light on your face, natural light, either a blank wall behind you or some type of photo paper with a color that you like that makes you feel good and enhances your skin tone. The next step I want to talk about is camera and framing. Most of us are going to film on our phone. I'm filming this video right now on my cell phone. Most all of my self-tapes now, I film on my cell phone. It's just more convenient, it's easy, and you don't need to invest in fancy equipment unless that's something that you want to do and you're interested in it. But again, film with your phone, not vertical up and down. We want horizontal across. If you have a newer iPhone, I like to use the cinematic mode rather than just the video mode. It blurs out the background and it just gives it a kind of a softer look, but you want to play around with it whenever you're filming to see which one is going to look better for you. Framing wise, we are looking for waist or chest up to the top of your head. No little to no negative space on the top of your head. And then we want to at least get waist up, nothing more unless they are asking for it in the slate or unless they're asking for it a specific way if you're taping for a specific audition or EcoCast or callback of some sort, but really waist up. If you want to lean in more towards chest up, which is film, television, commercial work, that's fine as well. We're really just trying to make sure that we can see you and that we can get a sense of the performance that you're putting on tape, but closer and more intimate than you would probably feel comfortable with. But let's shoot for waist up, no negative space on top. You can always edit this in post as well, and I'll show you how to do that when we get to the editing section. You want your camera right at your eye level, wherever you are. If you're propping it up on books, I've done that many times. We want it at your eye level, not angled down, not angled up, just straight across from you at your eye level. And when you are singing, you want to make sure that you're looking not directly at the camera, just off left or just off right, but straight across. We don't need to do at an angle either side. If we're doing scene work, that is very different. If you're doing scene work, you just want to look just farther off left or just farther off right, depending on who your scene partner is and who you're reading with. But for singing songs, just straight ahead, just barely just off left to the camera, which is what I'm doing right now. It almost looks like I'm at the camera, but it's just straight ahead. That's all that it is. Just as if we were in the room, we would look above their heads because they're sitting below us. But when we sing in a room, we're pretty much looking straight in front of us, which is what you're going to do in a self-tape. When you start to focus in on this framing, you may have to be aware that your backdrop is not big enough, or you may have to bring your camera closer to you. And I also recommend that if at all possible, which is what I'm doing now, record from your actual backside camera, not flipping it towards you and using it like a selfie. If we can use the back of the camera, it's better quality. But you know what? I have filmed so many tapes where nobody was around to set this up and to hit the focus button on my phone for me when I filmed, and I just flipped it around and just filmed it that way. If we can, use the back camera, but otherwise just use the other front side so you can frame yourself in the camera lens. Next up, let's talk about sound and acoustics. This again is going to be dependent upon where you are filming. Your option one is to just use the sound that is built into your phone, which is totally fine. Don't stress about this. The sound that is already built into your phone. Now, if you are using your phone and the audio built in and you're playing music, I highly suggest playing with the space of where you're putting that speaker. Never play the music from your, like my laptop is right here in front of me. I wouldn't play the music from your laptop or anything right in front of you. Get a Bluetooth speaker and put that speaker down behind you in the back or behind the camera on the other side. We don't want the music to overpower your voice. Your voice should be the dominant sound. If you are in a space that is quite small and padded, the acoustics might be very nice. And if you're in a space that's echoey, it might just give it a bit of a different sound. If you're thinking about upping your audio game, then I suggest getting an external microphone. I have a couple that I suggest. I'll link them down in the description box below. You can get a nice $50 microphone that is for singing. So my favorites are the Apogee mic. There are a couple of Fifine mics that are cheaper that you can use. Really, it's just about making sure that if you're looking for an external microphone, you're plugging it into your laptop and you are recording that audio at the same time you're filming the video. But don't stress about this if this isn't something that you've done yet. We just want to make sure that we can hear you, that the music does not dominate. You'll want to test this out, your voice at the same time, and that the audio is a good balance and not just so quiet that you feel uncomfortable when you're singing and that also cannot be heard or it drowns you out. So you'll want to test this out to make sure it's nice and balanced before you actually hit record for the real time. If I'm using my microphone, I make sure that it's out of the shot and it's down below me in front, but it really is dependent upon you and what you have available to you when you're filming these self-tapes. The last thing we want to do is have a tape that it sounds so poor quality audio that we can't hear your voice. So do a couple of test runs if you haven't, but honestly, start with your phone, add an external microphone as you can, and when you move up in your professional tool bucket of filming equipment. Next up, I want to talk about the biggest mistake that I see people make with self-tapes. We've talked about, the lighting and the audio and making sure that the framing is right, and all of that we can control and that we can set up. But the most important part about this tape is the performance. It's you performing, singing, acting, emoting, telling a story, taking us on a journey. That is the most important factor that you have to have ready to go before you get all of this equipment set up, because it does cause anxiety and stress, and you have a light in your face and a camera in your face and you're trying to get everything to work and don't step out of the frame. So I really want you to make sure that after you get everything set up, that you take a moment, you take a breath, and you drop in before you hit record. Focus on the most important part of this tape, which is the performance. If you're spending more time on the tech side of it, we're doing a disservice. We're missing the point in this tape. So figure out the setup that works for you with what you have available to you right now in the space you are right now, and spend the most time focusing on the performance and prepping prior to even filming this tape. So after you get everything set up, I want you to do a test shot. Just record a bit of the song, just maybe the first 6 bars or so. Play the music, set everything up, make sure it looks good, go back to your phone, watch it really quickly. If you're using audio, test out your audio, because the last thing you want to do is film all of them and then you can't even hear you or see you. Do a test shot so you don't waste your time. I always like to make sure that I actually do my moment before that I've created before the song, and then I trim that out in post. You can play more of the song at the beginning of it. If that really gets you into the mood of the character, back the track up and sing more of the song that you're doing, not just for the audition cut. Maybe you're doing 16, 32 bars or a minute, but back the song up and let yourself get into it so that when you go into post, you can edit that out. But we still get that setup that you might need prior to the actual audition cut that you're going to sing for this tape. Don't feel like you're putting yourself inside of a box. Step away from that wall. Use the space. Fill the space when you're emoting. Fill the space in the room. Don't feel like you have to minimize yourself just because you're on camera. All we're doing is putting on tape what we would do in the room. Next up, we need to talk about editing your self-tape. We need to keep these clean, trim off the beginning. It starts straight into either what they have requested you to film, or it starts a bar or two right before you sing. At the end, as soon as you're done, we trim that ending off as well. Less is more with these tapes. We don't need lower thirds. We don't need title cards. We don't need any of that, because we want these tapes to be simplistic, so that we can use them on Actors Access, Backstage, your YouTube channel, your website, any other type of submissions that you're directly submitting or your agent is submitting you for. We want them to be clean and simple and just come up on you. If you want to do a quick fade in, maybe that's okay, or a quick fade out, but don't do anything else. No transitions, no title cards, no nothing. While you're editing this in post, you may want to just double check, make sure the audio is good. You may want to raise that or lower it just a little bit in post if you can. You may want to also take a second to check your framing, maybe crop anything out in it as well, and then make sure that everything is lined up and as professional as possible with all of the visual aspects that you can control. So there you have it, the steps to creating a killer self-tape, focusing on the performance, what you can control, but then making sure you have the best setup for you that is going to allow you to do what we need, which is showcase our performance skills in that song for that specific audition. And let me know in the comments if there's anything that stood out to you. I would love to hear what resonated with you in this video. I've also got a free checklist and guide for self-tapes. Grab it below if you want to make sure that you are audition ready, and I'll see you in the next video.